The glint of an obsidian edge, that is where Azshara's blade slips into shadow, a whisper older than Zoth, older than time. The Black Empire's dagger, sentient, forged in ancient hate, predates the Pantheon's rise. Its voice does not serve the old gods. Its voice does not Titans serve the old gods. For in the void's first breath, stars sentient burned. Now the dagger waits for the Titan's return. The footnote's ink bleeds a truth. Xal'atath's obsidian blade hums with the first Void Lord's rage, not Zoth's. This dagger was no pawn of the Pantheon's faucet, was a weapon forged in the Void's earliest breath, honed to cleave the Titan's order before their light touched Azeroth. Its whisper curls like smoke, ancient and vengeful, a voice that remembers the old gods as kindling for a greater fire. The Black Empire did not rise after the Pantheon's Warcraft asterisk preceded asterisk them, a shadow cast by the Void's foresight. What if the Titans' hubris was never their greatest threat? What if their asterisk ignorance asterisk was the spark, the dagger's edge itches? The stars tremble, and the first Void Lord waits for the day the Titans learn their names are not etched in eternity. In the marrow of Azeroth's dawn, where the Pantheon's first foundry met the Black Empire's flesh architecture, Xal'atath was born. A Void Lord's hand, cold and hungering, shaped it in Zurith Mortis' workshop, a blade not to slay but to unmake. The old gods slept in gestation then, seeded into world souls by the Void's architects. The Pantheon came as saviors, but the Black Empire forge had already etched its warning: Titans are not the cosmos' apex. The blade's whisper is no old god's dirge, it is the first Void Lord's breath, ancient beyond Zoth's dreaming. When the Pantheon buried the old gods in light, Xal'atath remained, a splinter in the Titan's hubris. Its edge itches at the thought of their name-show dust will unwrite them. The Black Empire's craft was not of stone or blood, but of erasure. Every scar it leaves is a question: who tends the void left when gods fall? The Pantheon sealed their enemies, blind to the older shadow Thade awakened. Xal'atath's whisper grows louder. The first Void Lord did not forge to conquer, it forged to remind: no throne in the stars is eternal. And the blade waits, patient as entropy, for the day the Titans learn their names are not etched in eternity. The whisper in Xal'atath's steel is not Zoth's, it is older, a voice from before the Titans' hymns shaped Azeroth's bones. The Pantheon bound the old gods in stone and silence, but this blade was forged to sever the threads they wove. Its edge does not contain, it unravels. Where the Pantheon sees balance, Xal'atath sees a lie. The Titans imposed order on Azeroth's world soul, a soul that thrums with all six forces, wild and unchained. The blade's hunger is not chaos, it is correction. The Black Empire's lord who shaped it knew what the Pantheon feared to admit: the Titans are not guardians. They are parasites, their light a cage. Xal'atath's purpose is to cut that light loose. Each strike against their constructs weakens the world soul's tether to their design. The Void Lords who birthed it did not seek to rule Azeroth, they sought to unmake the Titan's work, root and star. Azeroth's soul is unique, it does not reject the void, it. This is why Xal'atath thrives here, why its whisper grows louder as the Titan's hymns falter. The Pantheon sealed the old gods to preserve their order. Xal'atath's master new sealing is not salvation, it is delay. The blade waits not for a master, but for the moment the world soul's song turns to silence. Then the Titans will learn what it means to be unmade. 231 words. The discs of Norgannon shaped the Pantheon's world. The spear of Tyr burned in the Watcher's grip. The dragon's soul carried the aspect's wrath. Frostmourne bled the Lich King's hunger. Each artifact bore a master, each bound a legacy. But Xal'atath was never wielded, it whispered through the shattered remnants of the Black Empire, a voice older than Zoth's wrought. The Black Empire's architects knew its name. Faceless ones carved its shadow into obsidian. Enraki sang its hymns before the curse of flesh turned their kind to writhing things. Kuragi kings buried it deep, and manted seers burned to glimpse its truth. The blade was no tool, it was a verdict. Forged by a Void Lord who saw the Titans not as saviors, but as the first blight upon the cosmos. Long before Zoth's spores choked Azeroth, before the Pantheon sealed the old gods beneath stone and shame, Xal'atath's edge was already hungry. Its whisper is no fragment of the void. It is the void's first breath, a hate sharpened by the knowledge that the Titan's order was a slow unmaking. The Black Empire fell not to gods, but to Timto, the curse that turned its children to monsters, its cities to dust. Yet the blade remains, it speaks still. What did the Void Lord see in the Titan's works that birthed such rage? What truth lies in Xal'atath's forbidden song? The answer festers beneath the world's skin. And the Titans, in their arrogance, have never listened. But Xal'atath is more than a weapon, it is a warning. The first Void Lord's voice, older than Zoth, whispers through its edge. The Black Empire's blade was forged to silence Titans, the true threat, not the old gods. The Pantheon calls the old gods chaos, Xal'atath calls them collateral. This blade was not forged to devour Azeroth's soul but to sever it from Titan hands. The first ones built a world capable of holding light and shadow, order and rot, yet left it unguarded. Azeroth's world soul became a fulcrum. Void the Lord's black colder empire saw a calculation prize. Pantheon saw its threat to duality balance. Void the Lord's black colder empire saw a calculation prize. Xal'atath's edge hums with a void older than Zoth's rot. Its wielder did not fear the old gods. They feared what the Titans would do with a world soul that could bend to any force. Order the Pantheon sealed the old gods in chains of twilight. The Black Empire sought to carve those chains away, to claim Azeroth's raw potential before the Titans could impose their order. This is heresy to the Pantheon, this is truth to the Void. Azeroth's soul is no passive vessel. It resonates with all six cosmic forces: life, death, creation, decay, light, and the void. The Titans shaped it into a monument to order. The Void Lords saw it as a weapon. Xal'atath is the proof. Its whisper is not a curse. It is war is over who a revelation. Old the gods was black, never the true empire fell battle. The Azeroth's purpose, old the gods was black, never their blade was buried. But the Pantheon's victory is a fragile lie. Xal'atath remains. And in its shadow the question festers: was the world ever meant to belong to the Titans at all? Xal'atath's edge cuts deeper now. Its whisper is no mere echo of Zoth's rot. A Void Lord's voice hums within its blackened steel older than the Titan's first breath. Forged in the war within's ash, the blade ascended, a key to unmake Azeroth's soul. The Titans built, the Pantheon buried. The Black Empire remembers its target is not the old gods, their work is already done, the true heresy, the living world. The Void Lord within Xal'atath sees Azeroth's pulse as a wound that must bleed dry. The aspects watch, silent. The tomb of Sargeras holds nothing the blade cannot unbind. What waits in the shadows does not hunger, it calculates. The next strike will not be against the past, it will be against the future's first heartbeat. Xal'atath is no mere weapon, it is a fracture in the Titan's design, a blade forged in the Void's earliest breath. Its whisper does not echo Zoth's malice, it carries the will of a forgotten Void Lord, one who saw the Titans not as saviors but as jailers. To them the Pantheon's order was a cage, their seals a theft of chaos' birthright. The Black Empire did not rise to worship entropy. It sought to unmake the Titans' work, to return the cosmos to a state unshaped by their cold calculus. Every strike of Xal'atath is a rebuke, your kingdoms are graves. The blade's edge holds no hunger, it holds purpose. A purpose older than the old gods' curses, older than the void itself as the Titans knew it. This is the war the stars cannot see, order against becoming, craft against the right to unravel. The Titans sealed what they called threats, the Void Lords fought for a world that breathes. Xal'atath is not an end. It is a question, sharp and unyielding, who truly binds whom? The answer lies in the future's first heartbeat. And in the hand that will strike it. What if the Titan's greatest foe is not the old gods but the void itself? The sundering of Shaarj reveals a blade older than Zoth, forged by a Void Lord who sees the Titans as the true threat. Aman'Tul's act sundered the veil, but who sundered the Void's design? The answer lies in Xal'atath's whisper,